like that?
Well, it was another learning experience, and that's what we were trying to do down here. This was a great run of games and experiences for these young people, and we kind of died. We didn't have it physically, but the lesson I told them that you walk away from, there's no birthright to be on that court. You got to play with energy, and you got to compete. If you don't, you're not playing. Either your group won't play as much, or you won't play as much. It's just how it is. So there's no well, today I'm not going to play and I'm still getting 20 minutes. No. Or I'm still getting, no. It's, you may get 5 minutes. I mean, you got to bring it. And this was the first game where we had guys, without, no competitive spirit. But it's easy to say 6 games in 8 days. It was a tough run.
What happened with Alex there? He was out.
He was exhausted. I told him before the game, the way he played yesterday, play 5 minutes today. Play 10 minutes today. Don't go out there and not play. Don't hurt your team. Just don't play. We've got other guys that want to play. And so, he was tired. He just pulled himself, which was fine.
John, Tyler and Lewis were the point guard down the stretch at the top. But
didn't matter. Either one of them could have been the point guard. I don't know why Robes had it the way he did. But you may have wanted to have Andrew, or he could get into a pick and roll and create a shot for somebody else. I don't know. Bigger, see through his zone, even late clock. Andrew threw a great lob to Marcus Lee, and Marcus didn't jump. He just looked at it. Again, I don't know if it's because he was exhausted, but it was exactly the right play.
You mentioned muscle. There were several guys diving for balls.
Yeah.
Tyler, Booker.
But again, when you're playing units, it only takes 1 or 2 guys not to be competitive. And this guy dives that guy's, but you watch. Okay, then they get the ball and they go down and make it 3. We had 3 one-handed rebounds that led to fouls or baskets for them, which could have led to baskets for us that made it 15-16 instead of 8-9. And my fault. No, I don't. There's stuff that won't happen during the year. The other thing, late, you don't really have stuff in. You don't have side out of bounds in. You don't have baseline out of bounds in. You don't have, all right, a late clock shot. What are we taking? We don't even have that stuff in. So none of that bothered me. The missed shot, the lob was the right play. The missed free throws. I mean, what I wanted them to do is Carl on offense, Dakari on defense. They put them both in together where they can't guard. So now they score, and then they leave Carl in on defense, and Carl can't. He got screened. His man scored. So, but that's all. That's why I said I'm not worried about it. It was a great trip. It would have been nice if someone made a shot or made a play and you walk out with a 4-point win. But in a way, this is probably the best thing, which tells you if you're not ready to play, either you or your unit will be out. There's no given that you're going to play 4 or 5 minute stretch. It may be a minute and a half stretch. You're out. And then we go back to the other group.
Looking at it from an off-the-court perspective, what did your team take away from their trip here to the Bahamas?
Well, they got closer together. There was great time that we could spend talking about different things that we're going to encounter this year. And we had the time to do it. There were some lessons and different things we did. But they spent a lot of time together, so it was both spending time, vacation, but we played 6 games in 8 days, and against grown men, which was a great challenge for us.
What was your overall impression of Tyler on this trip? Obviously, didn't go
it was good
down the stretch today.
It was good.
Yesterday with a big stop.
No, he was good. He was good. You want him to make every play, but Andrew was terrific. Andrew's game yesterday was unbelievable. I mean, what he did yesterday. So you got 2 guys, but again, we need them at times to say so-and-so doesn't need to be in right now. Just get him out, because he's hurting our unit. And we have enough guys we can do that.
Do you expect Tyler to be a guy, he can handle and pass and defend, to be a guy that could hit 9 of his first 12 threes here on this trip?
Well, I didn't look at any stats. I haven't looked. I'm watching guys play. I'm watching what we're doing together. You could tell me one game somebody said, well, Marcus Lee had 14 and 8. I would have had no idea. All I know is he's playing well. And then when a guy doesn't compete or doesn't talk, I'm seeing that. I'm not looking at numbers. So it's good that he had that kind of start. I'm glad Aaron and Andrew look better. All of them at different points step back, you know, and every one of them. Carl did the same. Carl looked like a star, and then other times you're saying, wow. Dakari did the same. There are times that he was woo, and there are other times he had stepped back. But that's all part of this, and it's, again, when you're playing 6 games in 8 days like we did. This trip should have probably been 6 days, not 9. And you know, but it was fine. We got what we needed. We're ready to get on the plane. I've been packed for 2 days, so I think we're all ready to get going.
Johnny, I've heard you say many times that you don't want a January team in November. So what kind of an August team do you think you have at this point?
No, it's an August team that's in good condition. You saw when we had to execute, we weren't able to. When we had to get ball movement, we don't have enough in. When we needed out of bounds plays to score, we don't have anything in. So we're an August team that's in good shape physically. And when you're playing 10 guys, you're in physical shape to play half a game. And they were. If they had to play 30 minutes, I'm not sure they could have done it.
So to wrap it up, guys, I know you said this team is ahead of schedule than teams you've had in previous years. Is it because they have a greater sense of urgency now to, you know, get things going as quickly as possible?
No, I think they share the ball. They figured out how to share the ball more than any other team I've had this early. Where most guys, you got ball stoppers trying to do their thing, trying to figure out who they are, versus move it, get it, and make plays easy for each other. And when we do that, we're real good. When we don't do that, we're like everybody else. So this team has picked it up pretty good.
John, why did you go with the 6 games in 9 days rather than a shorter one?
Well, what I wanted to do is 2 games a day off, 2 games a day off, 2 games and leave. But TV forced it to 3 and 3, which I knew would be difficult. And so we just left it and said, okay, we'll do that. But you know, most teams are using this time for 10 days of practice. They don't care who they play. They don't care if they don't care if they win or lose till they lose. Then it matters, okay? But we needed it for more. I needed professional level teams. I needed men. I needed experienced physical guys that knew how to play. That's what this team needed, which is different. So that's why most teams don't do what we've just done. They wouldn't do it this way.